Wake up, America. Time to stump the experts. This is the program in which you, the public, turn the tables on the authorities. Send us questions with the right answers. 4 experts guarantee to answer them correctly or pay you $5 for every question that's too much for them. Each question accepted wins you $2. You can win, therefore, as much as $7 per question if you're lucky and information pleases not. Our master of ceremonies is Clifton Fadiman, literary critic of the New Yorker magazine. Mr. Fadiman.
Thank you, Mr. Cross. Good evening, everybody. May I introduce the 4 gigantic brains who will meet all comers tonight? Our 2 regulars, Franklin P. Adams, columnist of the New York Post, and John Kieran, sports expert, lepidopterist, look that one up, and General Walking Encyclopedia are with us as usual. And they will be aided and abetted by 2 guests of honor, Mr. William Bonell, motion picture editor of the New York World Telegram, and the famous and influential author, journalist, and radio commentator, Miss Dorothy Thompson. Now, Miss Thompson and gentlemen, the rules. I'll put the questions to the entire board. If you know the answer, raise your hand. A question composed of no more than 2 parts must be answered by 1 man or woman. If it has more parts than that, the board may cooperate. But if any part is answered wrong, we lose $5. When you hear that cash register ring, that means the questioner is actually getting his $5. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, remember that information, please, is unrehearsed, unprepared, happy-go-lucky, fancy-free, and enough adjectives, we're off. The first question comes from Mr. Eddie Bayer of Miami, Florida. You're asked to finish 4 of the 5 following Joe Miller gags. For example, could any of you finish this one? Who was that lady I saw you with last night?
Seen you with.
Seen you, I beg your pardon. Seen you is correct or incorrect, as you choose. What would the answer be, Mr. Adams?
There are 2 answers. One is, that was no lady, that was my wife. The other is, that was no lady, that was your wife.
I have to pass either one of them. Well, now, Miss Thompson and gentlemen, you understand the idea of this question. 1, why does the chicken cross the road? Volunteers. Miss Thompson.
Get to the other side.
That's correct. 2, why do firemen wear red suspenders? Mr. Kieran.
To keep their trousers up.
Very good. Pants would be equally acceptable, Mr. Kieran. 3, do short skirts make women look shorter? Mr. Kieran.
No, but they make men look longer.
That's right. All right, see if you can get this one. Hey, the garbage man is outside. Hey, the garbage man is outside. Mr. Kieran.
Tell them we don't want any.
That's right. That's 4 out of 5. And 5, have an accident? Have an accident? Tough one, eh? Mr. Kieran.
No, I always travel this way.
That isn't the one I have down here.
Well,
no,
I made
thanks,
all mine up,
one.
so I don't know.
No, thanks, I just had one. Well, we had 4.5 out of 5 about, with Mr. Kieran coming in nobly. I wonder whether any of you know who Joe Miller was, by the way. I have a little information on Joe Miller. This is off the record. Mr. Adams.
He wrote a jest book, none of which things that you read was in there.
Have you got that jest book in front of you?
No, but I have it at home. I'd be glad to go home and get it.
No, you can't go home now. Now you're here, you have to stay here. Actually, Mr. Adams, that may be true. I'm not sure that all of these gags were in the original Joe Miller jest book. You were wrong in one particular. He didn't compose that jest book.
It was a compilation.
Yes, it was composed just a year after his death. And it is a solemn fact, Mr. Adams, that tonight, or at least this year, marks the 200th anniversary of the death of Joe Miller.
He comes to me out like a bolt from the blue.
Yes, it seems only yesterday, doesn't it? He died in 1738. And a year after he died, somebody collected a book of his jests, and they called it Joe Miller's Jest Book. And humorists have been using that jest book ever since, haven't they, Mr. Adams?
Yes, without much success.
Too.